Welcome back to Crafted Nest, a place where simple ideas bloom into everyday inspiration. Today, we'll dive into a world of fruit trees that thrive even in small pots, turning limited space into gardens of abundance. From the sweetness of mangoes and guavas to the elegance of oranges and pomegranates, each tree holds a story of patience, beauty, and joy. So, stay with us. Let your heart wander through these living treasures and discover how you too can create your own fruitful corner at home. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to Crafted Nest and turn on the notification bell so you'll never miss our next inspiring idea. Let's grow together, one pot at a time. There is a certain magic when you see grapevines weaving their way through a simple pot, their leaves dancing under the morning sun. In a world where space often feels limited, especially in crowded cities, the idea of nurturing grapes in pots offers both beauty and practicality. Imagine stepping into your small balcony or backyard, only to be greeted by clusters of grapes, their purple skins shimmering in natural light. Growing grapes in pots is not a distant dream. It is a gift anyone can bring to life. Begin with a strong, healthy seedling and place it in a clay or plastic pot wide enough to let its roots breathe. Support the plant with bamboo sticks or a simple trellis, guiding its vines to climb naturally. The plant asks for little: good soil, regular watering, and a touch of fertilizer every few weeks. With care, even within a year or two, the vines may begin to bless you with fruit. The joy comes not only from harvesting, but from the rhythm of watching life unfold. Each leaf that unfurls is a reminder that patience has its rewards. Each cluster that forms is a promise that nature thrives even in humble corners. Grapes in pots do not just serve as fruit. They bring a sense of charm, a shade of green, and a story of resilience to your home. And when the day finally comes to taste the grapes you have nurtured with your own hands, the sweetness is doubled. It is not just the flavor of the fruit, but also the triumph of growing abundance in small spaces. A living proof that even the simplest pots can hold treasures of life. There is something deeply comforting about seeing a mango tree, even when it grows not in wide orchards, but inside a simple pot at home. Its broad green leaves spread like gentle arms, promising shade, freshness, and one day, sweet fruit to taste. A potted mango tree is not just about having fruit. It is about bringing a piece of the tropics into your own little corner of life. Mango trees are known for their generosity, and when nurtured in pots, they often surprise us by bearing fruit much earlier than expected. A pot restricts the roots just enough to encourage flowering and fruiting sooner. All it takes is good soil, a strong seedling, and a container large enough to allow growth. Placed in sunlight and cared for with regular watering, the tree begins to thrive. Fertilizer, given with patience, becomes food for both leaves and future fruits. Imagine sitting in your yard one afternoon, watching small green mangoes begin to form among the leaves. Each one carries the promise of golden sweetness. As days pass, the fruit grows, and the anticipation becomes a part of your daily joy. Even children in the family begin to count the days, waiting for that first harvest. The taste of a homegrown mango is different. Sweeter, not only in flavor, but in meaning. It carries within it the story of care, of sunlight gathered on your terrace, and of roots that learn to thrive even in a pot. It reminds us that abundance is not always about having wide lands. It is about the love we give to whatever space we have. A mango tree in a pot is more than a plant. It is hope, patience, and reward living right outside your door. There is a quiet joy in watching an avocado tree thrive inside a simple pot. Its glossy leaves catch the sunlight, whispering stories of patience and nourishment. Many people think avocados belong only to wide gardens or faraway farms, but in truth, this tree adapts beautifully to the humble space of a backyard corner or a terrace. When grown in pots, avocado trees take on a new rhythm. Their roots stretch within the limits of the container, learning balance between growth and fruit. With well-drained soil, rich in organic matter, and a large enough pot to let the roots breathe, the avocado begins its journey. Sunlight becomes its favorite companion, and regular watering ensures it remains vibrant. Imagine a sunny afternoon. You step outside, and among the green leaves you notice small fruits forming, round, promising, and quietly beautiful. The sight brings hope, a reminder that with care, even a simple backyard can give rise to abundance. These fruits, once ripened, carry more than flavor. They embody the patience of seasons and the simple dedication of daily care. Homegrown avocados are richer, not only in taste but in meaning. They turn ordinary meals into celebrations, sliced on warm bread, blended into fresh juice, or enjoyed with family on a quiet morning. Each bite feels more nourishing because it was born from your own hands, under your watchful care. Growing avocados in pots is not just about harvest. It is about cultivating resilience, beauty, and calm. It tells us that even in limited space, nature finds a way to give generously. A potted avocado tree stands as living proof that abundance is not measured by land, but by love and patience poured into the soil. There is something wonderfully nostalgic about the sapodilla tree, known for its sweet, caramel-like taste that lingers on the tongue. To see it growing inside a pot is to carry a piece of tropical childhood memory into the present. Even in limited spaces, this tree manages to thrive, offering both shade and sweetness. A potted sapodilla begins with the right choice of seedling, preferably grafted to ensure early fruiting. With well-drained soil and a spacious container, the roots find a comfortable home. The tree loves the sun, and when placed in a bright corner of the yard or a terrace, it grows steadily, its leaves forming a thick green crown. Patience is the true companion of this plant. Months pass, and then small round fruits begin to appear. Their rough brown skin may seem modest, but inside lies a sweetness that feels like honey blended with memories. The fruits ripen slowly, rewarding those who wait with a taste that is unlike any other, soft, fragrant, and deeply satisfying. Children often delight in the harvest, eager to pick the fruits straight from the branches. Families gather to share slices, sometimes with a touch of lime or eaten as they are, savoring nature's dessert. Each fruit carries not only flavor, but the reminder that something so precious can grow in a humble pot, just outside the door. The sapodilla tree in a container teaches us that beauty and abundance need not demand wide fields. It shows us how patience transforms into sweetness, how care blossoms into generosity. And perhaps, in its quiet way, it whispers to us, life, like fruit, is sweetest when nurtured with love. The sight of a longan tree growing gracefully in a pot is like a promise of abundance wrapped in simplicity. Its leaves shimmer under the sunlight, and from its branches dangle golden brown clusters of fruit, sweet pearls waiting to be enjoyed. For those who love exotic flavors, growing longan in a pot brings both beauty and taste closer to home. This tree, though often found in wide orchards, adapts well to containers. A grafted seedling planted in rich, well-drained soil sets the foundation. Place it in a large pot to allow the roots to stretch, and choose a sunny spot where the tree can drink in the light. With care, watering, and seasonal pruning, the longan begins to reward the grower with blossoms that transform into fruit. The process is magical. Tiny flowers bloom like whispers of hope, then slowly turn into round, smooth fruits clustered together. As they ripen, the skin turns golden brown, thin but protective, guarding the translucent sweetness inside. Cracking one open reveals a clear, juicy flesh that tastes like honey with a touch of floral fragrance. Families often gather around the tree, children marveling at the heavy branches. The first harvest becomes more than just food. It becomes a celebration. A handful of fresh longan shared in the afternoon light feels like a gift from nature itself. Growing longan in a pot reminds us of patience and reward. It teaches us that even within boundaries, life finds ways to flourish abundantly. The fruits are not only nourishment for the body, but also gentle lessons for the heart. That beauty, sweetness, and joy can blossom right where we are, even in the smallest of spaces. There is a gentle wonder in seeing a starfruit tree growing happily inside a pot. Its branches, filled with glossy leaves, carry fruits shaped like stars, bright yellow jewels hanging in the sun. The baliming, as it is lovingly called, has long been cherished for its refreshing taste and for the joy it brings to any garden, no matter how small. When grown in containers, starfruit trees adapt beautifully. Start with a healthy seedling, place it in a medium or large pot with rich soil, and position it where sunlight touches daily. Watering regularly, feeding with organic fertilizer, and trimming excess branches allow the plant to focus its energy on producing abundant fruits. The result is often surprising, a tree full of little stars ready to be picked. The fruit itself is a delight. Crisp, juicy, and lightly sweet, it carries a refreshing tang that makes it perfect for juices or eaten fresh from the branch. Imagine stepping into your yard, plucking a golden starfruit, rinsing it, and taking a bite, the crisp sound echoing, the taste bursting with natural freshness. It feels like capturing sunshine in your hands. Families often find joy in harvesting together, children marveling at the star-shaped slices when the fruit is cut. It becomes more than a snack. It becomes a moment of togetherness, laughter, and shared wonder. Growing starfruit in a pot also adds beauty to the home. The tree itself, with its constant cycle of flowers and fruits, serves as a living decoration, both practical and aesthetic. It whispers a reminder that in the simplest spaces, with care and patience, nature offers gifts that shine like stars, sweet, nourishing, and filled with joy. There is a radiant beauty in seeing a sun-kissed orange tree thriving in a pot, its branches heavy with golden fruits glowing under the sun. In limited spaces where big gardens are only dreams, this tree becomes a living reminder that abundance can be nurtured even within humble corners. A potted sun-kissed orange begins with a grafted seedling placed in a container wide enough to host its roots. With well-drained soil, generous sunlight, and consistent watering, the tree adapts with ease. Feeding it with organic compost or citrus fertilizer helps it bloom and bear fruit year after year. Unlike many other fruit plants, oranges are generous. They produce not only beauty, but also nourishment. Imagine stepping into your yard on a bright morning, greeted by the fresh scent of citrus in the air. The sight of glowing oranges nestled among glossy green leaves feels like sunlight captured in fruit form. Pluck one, peel its skin, and the aroma immediately fills the air, bright, tangy, refreshing. The taste is a burst of sweetness with just the right touch of acidity, making every sip of its juice or every bite a refreshing delight. Children often find wonder in watching the oranges ripen, counting the days until harvest. Families gather to enjoy freshly squeezed juice, turning ordinary mornings into celebrations of health and togetherness. Beyond its flavor, the tree itself stands as a decoration, vivid and alive, bringing both charm and usefulness to the home. Growing sun-kissed oranges in pots teaches us something profound. Joy does not always demand wide lands or grand orchards. Sometimes, joy grows in a clay pot, on a terrace, in the care of patient hands. It is a reminder that sweetness, health, and beauty are never too far away. The humble lime tree has a way of turning everyday life into something brighter. Its small, glossy fruits may seem simple, but inside lies a burst of freshness that transforms drinks, dishes, and even moods. To see a lime tree thriving inside a pot, its branches heavy with fruits, is like keeping a pocket of zest and vitality right outside your door. Planting Juruk nipis in a pot is surprisingly easy. A healthy seedling, placed in well-draining soil within a medium container, grows quickly under the warmth of the sun. With regular watering, occasional pruning, and a touch of organic fertilizer, the tree responds generously. Soon, little green orbs begin to appear, their fragrance filling the air when touched. The joy of having limes at home comes not only from their flavor, but from their versatility. Imagine plucking a lime in the morning, squeezing it into warm water to start the day with a refreshing boost. Or using it in cooking, a squeeze over grilled fish, a dash in sambal, or the finishing touch in a salad. The freshness elevates the simplest meal into something memorable. Children often enjoy helping pick the fruits, their excitement growing as they watch the tree fill with more limes each season. Guests are often surprised to see such abundance from a tree in a modest pot. The bright green fruits glow like jewels among the leaves, making the plant as decorative as it is useful. Growing Juruk nipis in pots is a lesson in simplicity and generosity. It shows us that even the smallest fruits can carry great impact. With patience and care, a lime tree in a clay pot becomes more than just a plant. It becomes a daily source of freshness, health, and quiet joy. There is something cheerful about a Juruk custari tree. Small, round, and fragrant, its fruits light up a home like little lanterns hanging from the branches. Though tiny compared to other citrus, their usefulness and charm make them a perfect choice for growing in pots, especially in small yards or terraces. To plant Juruk custari in a container is to invite both freshness and beauty into your home. A grafted seedling thrives well in medium-sized pots with rich, well-draining soil. This tree loves the sun, and with regular watering and light fertilizing, it grows quickly, filling itself with glossy leaves and eventually, abundant little fruits. The joy of custari is found in its versatility. The fruits, though small, are packed with flavor and fragrance. They are often used to enhance drinks, sambal, or traditional dishes, bringing a refreshing tang that excites the palate. Imagine plucking a handful of these tiny fruits from your own backyard, squeezing them into iced tea on a hot day. The taste is bright, cooling, and deeply satisfying. Beyond flavor, the tree itself adds beauty. Its dense foliage, sprinkled with glowing fruits, turns an ordinary corner into something vibrant. Children enjoy harvesting them, amazed that such small trees can give so much. Guests often admire its look, making it a conversation piece as much as a food source. Growing Juruk custari in pots teaches us about abundance and simplicity. It shows that even small fruits can hold great value, and that beauty is not measured by size but by presence. A humble clay pot, a little sunlight, and consistent care are enough to bring this citrus gem into your daily life, adding freshness to your meals, fragrance to your air, and joy to your home. There is a certain pride that comes with seeing a crystal guava tree standing tall in a pot, its branches heavy with fruits that look like green lanterns. Known for its crunchy texture and sweet taste, Jambu crystal is one of the most beloved fruits in many households. To grow it in containers is to bring that sweetness closer, turning a simple home into a fruitful garden. Starting with a strong grafted seedling is the key. Place it in a large pot filled with fertile, well-draining soil, and position it in a spot where sunlight touches it daily. This tree responds generously to care, regular watering, pruning to keep it compact, and feeding with organic fertilizer. Soon, you'll see flowers turn into small fruits, and later, into large, round guavas that promise crisp bites. One of the joys of growing guava in pots is watching the fruits develop. Some growers wrap the young guavas in white bags to protect them from insects and ensure their skin remains flawless. The sight of branches filled with neatly wrapped fruits is both practical and beautiful, a promise of harvest to come. Imagine stepping outside on a sunny afternoon, plucking a guava fresh from your own tree, rinsing it, slicing it open, and tasting its crisp sweetness. The crunch echoes in your mouth, and the flavor is fresher than any store-bought fruit. It's a moment of satisfaction, of knowing your care has turned into nourishment. Beyond its taste, the guava tree itself brings greenery and shade, making any yard livelier. Growing jambu crystal in a pot teaches us that even in small spaces, life can thrive abundantly, giving both beauty and harvest to those who are patient and loving in their care. The jambu madu, with its juicy sweetness and refreshing flavor, has always been a favorite in tropical homes. To see it thriving inside a pot, its branches filled with fruits that shine like jewels, is like keeping a treasure chest right in your yard. A potted jambu madu not only brings flavor to the table but also beauty and life to the home. Growing this guava in pots begins with a healthy seedling placed in fertile soil inside a medium to large container. It loves sunlight and rewards steady care with rapid growth. Regular watering, occasional pruning, and a little fertilizer encourage the tree to bloom and fruit abundantly. Soon, delicate flowers turn into small green fruits that ripen into shades of red or pink, each one carrying the promise of sweetness. The magic of jambu madu lies in its taste. Crisp yet juicy, sweet yet refreshing, the fruit is a delight in every bite. Imagine walking into your yard on a warm afternoon, plucking one from the branch, rinsing it, and tasting its sweetness while standing under the shade of its own leaves. The flavor feels like nature's way of offering a gift to your hands. Families often gather to harvest together, and children find joy in helping, marveling at the fruits that seem too generous for such a small tree. The tree itself becomes a natural decoration, glowing with life and beauty. Its fruits wrapped in paper bags for protection add a sense of anticipation, each one like a little present waiting to be opened. Growing jambu madu in pots reminds us that sweetness is not only found in grand orchards. Sometimes, it grows quietly in a clay pot, nourished by sunlight, water, and care, ready to share its joy with anyone who tends it. The dragon fruit plant is unlike any other. Its climbing stems reach for the sky, bold and vibrant, while its fruits glow in shades of pink, as if painted by the sun itself. To grow such beauty in a pot is to bring both exotic charm and nourishment into your home. Planting dragon fruit in containers requires only a strong cutting, rich soil, and a solid support. Because this plant is a cactus, it loves sunlight and thrives with minimal watering, making it surprisingly easy to care for. With bamboo or wooden poles as its guide, the plant climbs gracefully, eventually producing delicate white flowers that bloom at night, stars that promise fruit to come. When the flowers fade, small green buds begin to swell, transforming slowly into bright dragon fruits. Their skins, pink with green scales, seem almost magical. Inside lies juicy white or red flesh dotted with tiny black seeds, a refreshing taste both sweet and cooling. Imagine harvesting your own fruit on a sunny morning, cutting it open, and serving it chilled for the family. The joy doubles when you know it came from your own care, right in your backyard. Children are often fascinated by the plant's unusual look and vibrant colors, while neighbors stop to admire the sight of fruits glowing against green stems. The dragon fruit plant becomes not just a source of food, but a natural decoration and a daily source of pride. Growing dragon fruit in pots reminds us of resilience and creativity. Even a cactus, with patience and care, can produce treasures of beauty and taste. It shows that abundance is not limited by land. It grows wherever love and light are given, even in a simple pot standing in the sun. Among citrus lovers, the decapon orange is often called a treasure. Known as one of the sweetest and juiciest oranges in the world, this Japanese variety carries not only flavor but also prestige. To grow it in a pot feels like keeping a luxury orchard within arm's reach. Planting decapon in containers begins with a strong grafted seedling placed in rich, well-draining soil inside a wide pot. The tree thrives under full sunlight, asking only for steady watering and balanced fertilizer. Over time, It fills with glossy green leaves and bursts into delicate blossoms that carry a gentle fragrance. Then comes the reward, large, seedless fruits that glow like lanterns in the branches. The taste of decapon is extraordinary, sweet, juicy, and without the bitterness often found in other citrus. Imagine stepping into your yard, plucking a ripe orange from your own tree, peeling back the bright skin, and tasting its golden flesh. The flavor fills your mouth with sunlight itself, pure, refreshing, and deeply satisfying. Beyond its taste, the decapon tree brings beauty and elegance to the home. Its large fruits hanging on a modest potted tree often surprise visitors, who marvel at how such abundance can come from a container. Children find joy in harvest season, their hands sticky with juice, their laughter echoing through the yard. Growing decapon in pots is a reminder of life's quiet luxuries. It teaches us that abundance is not always about grand orchards or wide land. It can be cultivated in the smallest corners, with patience and love. A clay pot, some soil, and a little care can hold not just a plant, but a promise of sweetness, joy, and the extraordinary, waiting in your own backyard. There is something mysterious and delightful about the black sapote, often called the chocolate pudding fruit. From the outside, its green skin looks ordinary, almost like any other tropical fruit. But inside lies a soft, dark flesh that tastes remarkably like chocolate custard, a natural dessert hidden within nature's simplicity. To grow such a treasure in a pot is to keep a little wonder right at home. Planting black sapote in containers requires a healthy grafted seedling and a wide pot with fertile, well-draining soil. This tree enjoys warm sunlight and thrives with steady watering. As it grows, its dense green leaves provide shade, while round fruits slowly appear, hanging like little ornaments. With patience, these fruits ripen, and their transformation feels almost magical. Imagine stepping into your yard one morning, plucking a ripe fruit, slicing it open, and discovering it's rich, pudding-like flesh. Smooth, sweet, and naturally creamy, it becomes a dessert without effort. Families often enjoy it chilled, eaten with a spoon, or added into smoothies. Children are fascinated that something so healthy can taste like chocolate, making it both fun and nourishing. The tree itself is more than just a source of food. It is a living decoration. Its glossy leaves bring freshness to any yard, while the fruits spark curiosity among guests. Growing it in pots makes it accessible even to those without wide gardens, turning small spaces into exotic orchards. The black sapote teaches us that appearances can be deceiving, that something plain on the outside can hold extraordinary sweetness within. It reminds us that patience reveals hidden gifts, and that even in a humble pot, life can surprise us with flavors as rich as joy itself. There is a joyful charm in strawberries, bright red jewels nestled among green leaves, their sweetness as refreshing as a morning breeze. To grow them in pots, especially in hanging containers, is to bring a little garden of happiness into your home. Each berry feels like a gift of color, flavor, and cheer. Strawberries are surprisingly easy to grow in pots. They love well-draining soil, plenty of sunlight, and just enough water to keep their roots moist but not soggy. Hanging pots or raised containers make them even more delightful, as their fruits dangle freely, safe from pests and easy to pick. Watching the plant bloom with small white flowers and then transform into berries is a gentle reminder of nature's magic. Imagine stepping outside on a sunny morning, finding bright red strawberries ready to harvest. The joy of plucking them by hand, feeling their softness, and tasting their sweetness immediately is unmatched. Unlike store-bought fruits, homegrown strawberries carry the freshness of sunlight and the love of your care. Their flavor is more than just sweet. It is personal, woven with the time and patience you invested. Families often gather to harvest strawberries together, children laughing as they search for the ripest ones. The fruits are perfect for fresh snacks, juices, or even as toppings for cakes and desserts. The plant itself adds beauty to the home, with its spreading leaves and glowing red berries, making any space feel alive and colorful. Growing strawberries in pots is more than gardening. It is creating little moments of joy. It reminds us that happiness often comes in small, sweet forms, and that even a humble pot hanging by the window can offer a harvest worth celebrating. The pomegranate has always been a symbol of abundance, beauty, and life. To see its tree growing in a pot, its branches heavy with glowing red fruits, feels like keeping a piece of poetry in your own yard. Each fruit, filled with countless ruby seeds, carries both nourishment and wonder. Growing Delima in containers is not only possible, but deeply rewarding. A healthy seedling thrives in a large pot with well-draining soil and plenty of sunlight. With regular watering and seasonal pruning, the tree begins to bloom with delicate orange flowers that soon transform into round, red fruits. The sight of those blossoms turning into jewels of nature is a joy all its own. When the fruits ripen, their tough skin hides a treasure of seeds glistening like rubies. Imagine harvesting one on a bright morning, slicing it open, and seeing the shining seeds spill out like tiny gems. Each bite bursts with tangy sweetness, refreshing and nourishing. Eaten fresh, juiced, or sprinkled on dishes, the fruit adds not only flavor but also beauty to every meal. Children love the experience of opening a pomegranate, their hands stained with ruby juice as they laugh and share. Guests are often amazed that such a majestic fruit can come from a simple clay pot in a front yard. The tree itself adds elegance, its flowers and fruits glowing against glossy leaves. Growing pomegranate in pots reminds us of life's richness. It shows that even in limited space, nature can still offer treasures beyond measure. Each fruit carries not only seeds but lessons of patience, beauty, and abundance. In its quiet way, the pomegranate whispers that true wealth often grows in simple places, waiting to be discovered. There is something almost sacred about the fig tree. Mentioned in ancient stories and valued across cultures, its fruits carry both nourishment and history. To see a fig tree thriving inside a pot is to bring that heritage into your own home, turning a simple corner into a place of abundance. Figs adapt beautifully to containers. With well-draining soil, a large pot, and generous sunlight, the tree flourishes even in limited space. Its broad, hand-shaped leaves sway gently in the breeze, while small green buds slowly swell into fruits. With time, they ripen into shades of purple or brown, sometimes splitting open to reveal ruby-red flesh glistening with sweetness. Harvesting figs is an experience in itself. Imagine stepping into your yard on a warm morning, reaching for a ripe fig, and breaking it open. The inside glows with seeds suspended in honey-like flesh, offering a taste that is rich, soft, and deeply satisfying. Each bite feels ancient, as if connecting you to countless generations who once savored the same fruit. Beyond taste, the fig tree carries meaning. Its resilience teaches patience. Its fruit teaches gratitude. Families often gather around to enjoy the harvest, children learning to love a fruit that is both unique and healthy. The tree also serves as a natural ornament, its large leaves and colorful fruits bringing charm and vitality to the home. Growing figs in pots proves that tradition and beauty can thrive even in modern spaces. It is a reminder that nature's gifts are timeless, that ancient fruits can still nourish today, and that even in a humble clay pot, history and sweetness can grow side by side, offering joy to those who tend them with care. The papaya has always been a fruit of generosity, offering shade, nourishment, and sweetness. Yet in its miniature form, grown in pots, it carries an even greater charm. A dwarf papaya tree, short and strong, with fruits clinging tightly to its trunk, is a living symbol that abundance does not always need wide lands. Planting mini papaya in a pot begins with a special variety suited for containers. A large clay or plastic pot filled with fertile, well-draining soil becomes its home. Sunlight is essential, as is steady watering to keep its roots comfortable. Within months, the plant grows rapidly, its wide leaves stretching like umbrellas, shading the fruits that begin to cluster around the trunk. The sight is almost magical. Unlike tall papaya trees, these dwarfs keep their treasures close to the ground. Green fruits appear first, swelling slowly, until their skins turn golden orange in the sunlight. Imagine plucking one in the morning, slicing it open, and tasting the soft, sweet flesh, fresh, fragrant, and filled with vitality. Families often find joy in watching the tree grow. Children are amazed to see such big fruits hanging on such a small trunk, while parents appreciate the convenience of harvesting without climbing. The fruits, rich in vitamins and refreshment, become a daily blessing, whether enjoyed raw, blended into juice, or served as dessert. The dwarf papaya tree in pots teaches a simple but powerful lesson, that greatness can come in small forms. Even in a humble container, nature finds a way to express generosity. It shows us that with love, care, and patience, sweetness can flourish right outside our door, waiting to be shared.